Power Book Ghost Season 3, Episode 3 is 12 on the dot. I literally just finished the episode, and you know what we do over here. We jump right into the spoilers. So if you didn't watch the episode, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and come back after you finish the episode because we're going to get right into it. Let's go. First person for this episode I want to get into is Kane. Now, I decided for these episodes I'm going to start doing it character by characters to make things easier. So, Kane, he's looking like he's going to be the MVP of this season. He's doing it all, putting all the pieces together. We saw at the end of episode 2, he put 2 and 2 together and realized Lorenzo was the one who capped Z. Now he has Lorenzo under his thumb. He's basically running shit, the new Connect. And this episode, he wants to take out another Connect to get somebody else. So him and his team and Tariq and everybody can move their product through Brooklyn. And he wants Brayden, of course, to take out the Connect because he feels Brayden owes him a body. But Brayden, of course, decides not to get this done and allows Tariq to kill the person. And once Kane finds out, he puts 2 and 2 together. Once again, this the second person Brayden asked him to kill. He asked Brayden to kill, and Brayden didn't get it done. So he comes to figure that there's no way Brayden took out Lauren. And now he knows, somebody else knows about what him and Brayden did. We see him at the end of this episode after he holds Brayden at gunpoint and lets him go. He makes a phone call and calls Effie. Now, nothing comes of this. That's the cliffhanger we're left on for this episode. So we don't know yet if he knows or believes she is the one who did it, or he wants to confide in her and get him in on what he's thinking so that she's more aware. And we've been seeing him try to move in on Effie relationship-wise for multiple seasons now. And I think this is going to be the season that finally happens towards the end, at least when Effie and Tariq aren't together no more. Like once Reek finds out that Effie has something to do with Lauren, she and Kane will get together. But I'm interested to see how their dynamic goes when he tells her about Lauren or she tells him about Lauren. We also get to see Kane being a W big brother in this episode. He goes to school to watch over Diana after the new Connect threatens them, says if he don't have a meal by next week, that's the first person he's going to kill. He gives her some money. He's just looking out for her, and that was just a nice thing to have in this episode. I also want to look in Effie and Tariq in one section. I want to look at them together because he himself in this episode compared their relationship to Tasha and Ghost's relationship, of course, his parent. And he stated that Tasha was the mastermind. She was running everything. She had everything figured out, and Ghost fucked it up, which we know is completely wrong, but that's his perception, his perspective, or his point of view. And them having this conversation and seeing everything play out in this episode, I feel Effie is more like Ghost and Tariq is more like Tasha. We see Effie in this episode talk about she wants to hit a number in her mind. She always had a plan to hit a number and then she wants out. But it doesn't seem like that's what Reek is looking for. I also put them together because we see Effie driving a car in this episode, and we know Reek still have yet to get a car, so that's just pretty funny. But back to what I was saying, she's more like the Ghost of the situation. She wants more for us, so she told Brayden one time he found the game didn't find him. He went to the game. She said she had to do this. It's something she had to do, and we don't really know much of her background, but I would say she's more similar to Ghost, and this isn't her end-all, be-all. Whereas Tariq, it looks like this is what he wants to do for the foreseeable future, which is funny because he wants to not be like his father so much that he's becoming exactly like him. Like I said, we seen Reek in this episode take out a whole body for Brayden with no remorse so easily. Just went, shot him in the back, shot him in the head, pulled the trigger. And Effie even told him, you just killed a body and you talking about something else. Like, that's just crazy. He's becoming his father and he doesn't even realize it, but he's becoming all the worst ways of Ghost, while Effie seems to be all the positive sides of Ghost. We also, of course, like I said, got the phone call by King to Effie, and I'm interested to see how that plays out, and of course how it plays out when Reek finds out Effie has something to do with Lauren. We already saw in one of the trailers leading up to the show where they both almost pull out a gun on each other. So that confession is coming rather soon, and I really want to see how that plays out with their relationship. Next up, we have Brayden, and it seems Brayden's lies to Tariq are starting to pile up at this point. Tariq, of course, doesn't know about the situation with Lauren and Effie and what went down. Tariq doesn't know it was Brayden who got rid of his internship with Tate, and also it was Brayden who forced him into Wall Street, basically maneuvered him in that direction, outsmarting Tariq. And Tariq also doesn't know that Kane is trying to get Brayden to catch a body. Well, he do know from this episode, but he doesn't know that Kane is constantly doing this. And Kane said at the end of the episode, Brayden still owes him a body, and he's gonna make sure he does it himself. Now, I think it's the best thing about Brayden's character, the best thing to think about and speculate is who is going to be his first kill, because if he's not able to kill a miscellaneous character, I think they're going to finally set him up to actually kill not necessarily an important character, but a character that we've seen around that's impactful to the story per se. And that character could be, I'm looking towards Whitman, the detective that's going everywhere. Monet wants to move in on him already. He might find some information about Kane get Brayden to get the job done, etc. Or I'm thinking it could even be Diana's boyfriend down the road long term. But I think they're going to make his first body a big, impactful character. But overall, Brayden is playing with fire. Lying to Tariq about all this, we already saw it in the trailers before the show, where Tariq walks up and sneaks him. They get into a fight, so we know the fallout between them is coming about the Lauren situation. Pretty sure once he explains the shit with Effie and Tariq redirects his distrust to Effie and his focus is on her, their relationship still won't be the same, but they won't be as fractured as Tariq and Effie. But I'm interested to see how him and Tariq storylines play out, because he's constantly undermining him and lying to him about everything. Okay, law enforcement, I'm gonna do all of them together. So Saxe, at the end of the last episode, we saw him go into McClane's death, make the phone call, and find out McClane has a burner with Monet's number, and he's been talking with Monet, so he thinks he's a part of their whole drug plan and everything that's going on. So also this episode, he takes a picture of a meeting of McClane, Tariq, and Monet in the office, basically confirming they're all working together. So he takes that picture because, he's still trying to help Jenny. And he's meanwhile still working on the Theo Rollins case, which is McClane's brother, who's in jail for a murder who he didn't commit. McClane committed it. So he's trying to get him out of jail, of course. I'm still very much under the impression that he won't make it to the end of the season. He has the phone call where Monet knows someone called her. He has the picture now taken. If that ever surfaced, they'll know someone in the office had to be Saxe. And he's just diving deeper and deeper into a hole that he won't be able to make it out, and end will be put to him this season. Hey, now that I think about it, that might be Brayden's first kill. Now, the more I look at it, the more I think about it, it could be Saxe, because I strongly believe this will be his last season, especially because the next character we're about to get into, Whitman, is kind of taking his place. So we have Detective Whitman, Officer Whitman, basically playing a role again as the overzealous cop, constantly in people's business, going to their jobs, homes, staking out, doing all that, just trying to put pressure on people like Saxe used to do in the earlier seasons, basically. So he's basically taking upon that role. He's so aggravating, but he just got kicked off the case with Jenny and Detective Rodriguez because of a harassment claim made by Monet going to her job, staking out her house, etc. He's constantly doing that, and he's also mad that they're focused on Tariq when he wants to focus his attentions on Monet and Carrie's death. So it's gonna be interesting to see, I guess, how his character plays out, because he doesn't necessarily feel important, but they take out Saxe. I don't see them taking out him and Saxe in the same season, and I don't know what else his character could do, but I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna, doing all this staying out, he's probably gonna run into a big piece of evidence eventually and be able to use it as some sort of form of leverage, I guess, but we'll see what happens with his character. Now the miscellaneous character section. This the characters that don't really got much going on, but they're in the episode. They have few minor plot points. So Lorenzo, he has a big plot point, but he's just this episode. He's under Kane's thumb, just doing whatever he says, basically telling everybody they should listen to Kane. We have Diana. She's finally dating that TA, that lame TA guy. We'll see interest, see how that relationship plays out long term, and she also is moving product for Lorenzo at Stansfield now. So I'm definitely interested to see what happens there. We also have Drew, who's upset about Everett leaving, I guess. So he's just on dating apps with a bunch of guys. Monet, who's being staked out by Whitman constantly, who keeps harassing her. So those characters really don't have anything necessarily major happen in this episode, but they have a few plot points going on that would be interesting to see how they play out very long term. So overall, this episode was pretty good. I think the first two were still better, or more moments and things happened, but this was setting up some things nicely. I'm pretty sure Kane and Effie, their dynamics about to change, switch. I'm interested to see how that plays out with the whole Lauren situation, and how Brayden, his lies start to pile up, who his first body gonna be. Kane and Brayden are easily the MVPs and the best characters of this season so far, so they're clearly my favorites, or got the most going on, so I'm clearly more intrigued to their storyline. But that's it for this video. As usual, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I drop power review for every episode every Friday, and I'm gonna start doing a video on potential plot points, what could happen, future storylines, character deep dives, like every other Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that. But if you're interested in other content, other videos, I have plenty on different type of shows, movies, characters from popular shows, teen dramas, etc. So you could go check that out, or be on the lookout for those videos on Tuesday. But once again, that's it for this video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.